Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage.
Kurukshetra battle
He fought the Kurukshetra battle
for Krishna.
for Krishna.
And some people,
Some people,
and maybe Vaishyas,
they may be Vaishyas,
and they want to do their service
and they want to do their service
for Krishna.
for Krishna.
Now, Krishna, Prabhupada mentioned that the Vaishya
And Prabhupada mentioned that if a Vaishya
does some service
does some service
in order to please Krishna,
in order to please Krishna,
then that somehow, using that service
and that somehow using their service
in the 9 practices of devotional service.
in the 9 practices of devotional service,
Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vandanam,
Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vandanam,
etc. So then, that way,
so that in that way
they can fulfill their desire,
they can fulfill their desire,
at the same time be Krishna conscious.
at the same time be Krishna conscious.
So, if you do that,
If you do that,
then there won't be an obstacle.
and then you will not be an obstacle.
But if you don't do that,
But if you don't do that,
and you want just some material thing,
and if you just want some material things,
then that could be an obstacle.
then that could be an obstacle.
And you take birth again.
And you have to take a bath again.
We have another question from Vedavit Krishna Das from Laguna Beach, California.
Oh,
Vedavit Krishna Das, who is this? Raise your hand. Oh, here. His question is, Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisance at your lotus feet. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. How to get complete faith that Krishna is the only protector and maintainer as a part of Sharanagati, surrendering process, while working for some healthcare organization for 8 hours a day, 40 hours per week, being grihastha. The question is, how to get complete faith that Krishna is the only protector and maintainer as part of Sharanagati.
as far as
Part of Saranagati, surrender.
you see, someone may take shelter
Someone may take shelter
of one of Krishna's expansions,
one of Krishna's expansion,
and may think, oh, this is very nice,
I think that this is very nice.
but the thing is that
But the thing is that
we want to take shelter at the same time,
we wanted to take shelter at the same time,
develop our relationship with Krishna.
develop our relationship with Krishna.
So he may give us some options
So He may give us some options
to take shelter of Lord Shiva or others,
to take shelter of Lord Shiva or others,
but as a result,
but as a result,
we may take birth again and again,
we may take birth again and again,
because these devas, they cannot give mukti.
because these devas, they cannot give mukti.
So Krishna, he gives the ideal
So Krishna, He gave the ideal
protection,
protection,
Also, he brings one back home, back to God.
Also, he brings one back home, back to Godhead.
You read Srimad Bhagavatam,
If you read Srimad Bhagavatam,
and then you'll have many different pastimes,
and you'll have many different pastimes,
and see how the Lord protects his devotees.
and see how the Lord protects his devotees.
He's known as Bhakta Vatsala.
He's known as Bhakta Vatsala.
How he protected Prahlad Maharaj,
How he protected Prahlad Maharaj,
how he protected different devotees.
how he protected different devotees.
So by reading of pastimes,
By reading those pastimes,
we should naturally develop faith.
one should naturally develop faith.
I have a question, Guru Maharaj. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, in the beginning, first chapter, Vedavyas, he mentions, Vedavyas, that when Bhumi and Brahma and Lord Shiva, they went to the Shvetadvip. When Bhumi and they all went to Shvetadvip, and Brahma sat in meditation, and the message was related to him by Kshirodakashaya Vishnu, what will, has Krishna will appear. But in the book of Garga Samhita, the more details are mentioned that the demigods actually went to Goloka and met Lord Krishna face to face, where he described how Vibhu and how they're going to take birth and participate in Krishna Leela. So there's something is contradictory. The question is that the difference between in Vyasadev's Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that the Brahma, Lord Krishna, how in Kshirodakashaya Vishnu related to him within the heart. And Prabhupada mentioned what's going to happen in Krishna Leela. But in
What?
huh?
What?
Yeah, this side. In the Vedavyasa's book, Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, it is mentioned that when Bhumi Devi in the form of a cow, they went to Shvetadvip and they prayed Purusha Sukta prayers and did not hear anything from Lord Vishnu. Then Brahma sat in meditation, and then Lord Vishnu mentioned him through the medium of heart how things are going to happen during Krishna Leela, that Krishna is particularly going to appear. That is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. But Garga Samhita mentions about it, which is also written by the instructions of Narada Muni, that he mentions that actually Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva and all the demigods went to Golok and had a direct encounter with Sri Krishna himself. But he particularly mentions those devatas and Lord Shiva and Brahma, everybody, that he's going to come and according with Radharani, and Brahma is going to be Aniruddha, Pradyumna's son, and he mentioned all different devatas, how they're going to participate in Krishna Leela. So this seems a little contradictory, or it happened some other...
See, we take the Srimad Bhagavatam as authoritative.
We take Srimad Bhagavatam as the authoritative.
And but I just said there may be other scriptures,
And as he said, there may be some other scriptures,
give some other details.
give some other details,
So we usually concentrate
but we usually concentrate
on the books that Prabhupada translated,
on the books that Srila Prabhupada translated,
because that's we see that that's less likely to create confusion.
and less likely to create confusion.
Your question that
Now your question,
whether this is another kalpa,
whether this is another kalpa,
it's hard to say,
hard to say,
because Krishna comes every kalpa of Brahma,
because Krishna comes every kalpa of Brahma.
27 Kali Yuga,
And there are 27
27 Dwapara Yuga.
27 Kali Yuga, 27 Dwapara Yuga.
So Normally, the system is that
Normally the system is that
Devas go to the Saita Deep,
the Devas, they go to Smriti
and when Brahma meditates and Kiradakshai Vishnu.
and when Brahma meditates on Kshirodakashayi Vishnu.
Now, if there was some other pastime with directly Goloka known,
And other pastimes directly Golok Vrindavan.
whether this kalpa, another kalpa, hard to say.
Whether it is this kalpa or another kalpa, it's very hard to say.
But anyway, he said he'd come with Radharani.
But anyway,
He said he would come with Radharani.
he said he would come with Radharani,
If I heard you correctly.
if I heard it correctly.
And that happened.
And that happened.
So usually the devas, except the very special confidential devas,
Usually the devas accept few confidential devas.
they don't go to Goloka.
They don't go to Goloka.
And they go to the Kiradakshai Vishnu Saita Deva.
They go to Kshirodakashayi Vishnu at Swatudi.
Now, when Brahma meditates,
That's where Brahma meditates.
when they might go to Goloka, I don't know.
When they go to Goloka, okay, one last question.
Yeah,
Yes,
Malakshmi had a question.
Mahalakshmi Mata
Yeah, I have it here.
is tired.
What is real compassion? And the second question is, what pleases you the most?
What is real compassion?
What is real compassion?
The mercy given out,
The mercy given out,
which actually regenerates the relationship with Krishna.
which actually regenerates the relationship with Krishna,
That is really the highest compassion,
that's really the highest compassion.
because like we read how different Puranas,
We read how in different Puranas,
someone does some particular sacrifice.
someone does some particular sacrifice.
Isn't tomorrow Ekadasi?
Yeah, tomorrow is Ekadasi.
So, Papa Vinasha Ekadasi,
Papa Mochani Ekadasi.
Papa Mochani Vara. So, by observing Ekadasi or by doing some penance,
So, by observing Ekadasi and doing some prayers,
penance,
penance,
one may get freed of all the sinful reactions.
one may get freed from all sinful reactions.
So, or someone, they worship some deva,
So they worship some devas
they go to Swarga,
and they go to Swarga.
but for the devotee,
And for the devotees,
Swarga is like a Goradim,
Swarga is like
horse's egg.
horse's egg.
Horse doesn't produce eggs.
Horse doesn't produce egg.
So, I kind of like a pushpa,
Like a Kash Pushpa,
and flower in the sky.
flower in the sky.
Not once in the heavenly planets, maybe on Brahma,
Once in the heavenly planet,
or Mano, so 7 years.
some years,
and then one comes down.
and no one comes down.
It's not kind of permanent benediction.
It's not a permanent benediction.
So the Srimad Bhagavatam
So in Srimad Bhagavatam,
tells us
Srimad
about
Bhagavatam tells
the
us
permanent relationship with Krishna,
how we can have permanent relationship with Krishna.
and that allows us to have a eternal
And that allows us to have eternal
life.
life.
And what pleases me the most.
And what pleases me the most?
I'm most pleased
I'm most pleased
when devotees develop pure love for Krishna.
when devotees develop pure love for Krishna.
Haribo. Alright?
Alright, we'll end here.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.